Ready?
All right.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of Cooking with the Hobsons. Basically, we just wait for these episodes so that we can actually eat our lunch. But today we're going to make my most requested recipe, which is Thai green curry. So, babe, let's just go straight through. Let's go straight onto the ingredients. First thing we've got here is chicken thighs. Most people use breast, but I think chicken thighs are a way better option and they're way juicier. We've got some eggplant, some green beans, some plain rice, carrots. The Thai green curry paste that I use is the best one in the world. Like, I've tried.
It's not sponsored.
It's not sponsored, yes, you're right. I've tried so many different ones and it doesn't get better than this. So we've got, I think I already said carrots, corn, onions, some vegetable oil, and then on this little plate here we've got parsley, prefer coriander but I couldn't find any, red chilies, ginger, limes, and the curry paste, which I've measured out 50 grams. You only need 50 grams for one serving. So obviously one serving is usually about 2 to 3 people, so just multiply that as necessary. And then of course we've got some salt because that's totally necessary, and my favorite, chili flakes. So let's get straight into it. We'll start by washing our 1 cup of rice. So you don't have to wash your rice. Sometimes I wash my rice, sometimes I don't. Just depends what sort of mood I'm in and how quickly I want to get everything done. So to wash your rice, obviously just wash it in a colander. But basically you're washing it until the rice has like a starch content, obviously. So you're washing it until all the water that's coming out is clear, doesn't have that white color to it, which is the starch, and then that just goes straight.
What happens if you don't wash it?
Your pot. Nothing happens if you don't wash it. I can't imagine it's particularly clean, but it's up to you. And then the same thing that you use to measure the 1 cup of rice, use that same thing to measure your water. So 1 cup of water with that as well. I'm just going to use my fingers to stir that. And then add your ginger. You don't have to eat this ginger at the end. It's just to add some fragrance. So you can take it out once it's cooked. And I've got mine on I'm going to turn it onto a high heat. And then once it starts boiling, you turn it all the way down to a low heat and just let it cook. That's how easy it is to make rice.
Cool.
Rice is like the simplest thing to make.
Are you sure?
I am sure, yeah.
Ben says hello.
Hey Ben, how are you, babe?
Pam says hi.
Who?
Pam.
Hey Pam, how you doing?
And Helen as well.
Hi Helen. So for the curry, so easy. We've got about, I think it was 30 or 40 mils of vegetable oil. Just put that straight in there.
What are we making?
We're making a Thai green curry, and we're actually going to use this curry paste. You could make it on your own. You could actually make your own Thai green curry paste, but I'm not going to do that. And I never do that, so I'm not going to start now. So you put in your oil, then your onions. And that's it. I haven't added any garlic or ginger because I think everything, all the flavor you need is actually already in the paste. So I just go straight in with the onions and the oil and let that cook. And then while that's cooking, I'll also add my paste. So with the paste, I've measured out 50 grams, and that usually feeds, I'd say 2 to 3 or 4 people if you're doing small portions. You want a little bit of oil in your pan because the paste sticks to the bottom of this really easily. And so if you find that it's sticking, just add a bit more oil.
Biosh says hi.
Hey Biosh, how are you? I did just see you about an hour ago and you were great, so I don't know why I asked you that again. So you want to make sure you've got enough oil in that so that
Lucy says hi.
Who?
Lucy.
Hey baby girl. So that you've got enough, so that the paste doesn't stick to the bottom. While that's cooking, just keep an eye on it because as soon as it starts to stick, I would just add a few spoons of vegetable oil just to avoid that happening. So that cooks really quickly. Like the onion's already soft Your paste is fragrant.
How many onions?
Just one onion. I used one very small onion because I'm really only making enough for Izzy and I.
Louis says hi.
Who?
Oh man, you're gonna say this very.
I didn't hear who
Louise.
you said. Louise.
Louise.
Oh, hey Louise. How you doing?
Please don't be offended, anybody. She said
I
who,
just
she
didn't
said
hear.
who after every single
No, I just
person.
didn't hear who you said. I'm actually going to add a touch more oil because I don't want mine to stick. I don't want the paste to stick to the bottom.
What kind of oil?
Just vegetable oil is fine. So you can see that that's cooking really nicely. And that's literally taken us less than 5 minutes. We also put on rice before.
Yeah.
1 cup of rice, 1 cup of water, and some ginger.
How much ginger?
I used probably about, I don't know how many grams it was. Just about a piece about this big of ginger. Babe, just to make it all fragrant, right? So there's no actual reason for it. Now, I think our curry paste and onions are ready. They're soft, everything smells really good. What I'm gonna add is this coconut milk. So it says reduced fat, it really doesn't matter, you can use whatever. I'm using this because that was what was in the pantry, and it's 400 mils, but I'm only gonna add a little bit to start off with. So I barely added much. Just enough to keep everything from sticking to the bottom. And mix that all up.
Lucy says looking good.
Thanks, babe. It smells really good as well. I'll show you the Thai green curry paste that I'm using again, just in case. So I get this from Tesco, but any of your, what do you call them? Here we call them Oriental stores, I think. But in Australia, we call them the Asian shops. We'll have these. Or you could probably get it from Tesco, and at home from Coles or Woolworths as well. So that is the best one that I have tried. Some of them come in jars, and they're almost a little bit runny. I wouldn't go with those ones. I think you want to go for a paste. The pastes are the best, and it's got everything, and it's really fresh, and you don't need to add anything else. So when I fried up my onions, it was just onions and vegetable oil. Nothing else was added to that.
So it's got to be paste.
Yeah. And then we added a little bit of the coconut milk, not all of it yet. And so once that's been added, that'll actually stop it from sticking to the bottom of the pan, and it'll keep cooking the onions and the paste a little bit.
High, right?
I'm cooking on a pretty medium heat actually, number 7 out of 9. Then the next thing I'm gonna add is my chicken thighs. So this is only 3 thighs, and I've just taken the skin off and then chopped them up. And I think one of the keys to making a really good Thai green curry is actually cooking the thighs in the sauce. Most people would cook their chicken breast or whatever chicken they're using separately and then add it. But if you cook it in the sauce, it makes it really juicy. The only downside of that is obviously you can't taste it until the chicken is cooked through. So I'm gonna throw all that chicken in there, give it a good mix.
Can you replace the chicken with something else?
Yep, you could replace it with tofu. You could do no chicken. So you could go to this point, add all your coconut milk and let it cook. So that will cook really nicely. And at this point, I'll add the rest of my coconut milk.
All of it?
All of it, all 400 mils. Will go straight into there.
So could you make this like vegetarian or?
Completely vegetarian. And I do sometimes make it vegetarian when I've got no chicken in the fridge, in the freezer. So you could all you would do, so we'll go back so that you can remember. So all you do, if you're gonna make it vegetarian, is fry the onions with your oil like you did before, add your paste and let that fry for a little bit. Then pour in all of your coconut milk, so all 400 mils. So our rice is starting to boil now, right?
The ginger, right?
With the ginger. Oh my gosh. How good does that smell? I've actually never cooked rice with ginger in it. I just saw someone else do it and I was like, what a great idea.
So it could go wrong.
It could go wrong. So turn that down and I'll turn the curry up.
How long has the rice been on for?
Since we started, so what's that? 10 minutes?
Yeah, I think so.
Probably not even that. Probably about 7 minutes.
Claire says hi.
Hey Claire, how you doing? I loved your devotion this morning. So I'm going to cover that
How
and
many
let
chicken
that.
thighs are you using?
I'm only using 3, and I've cut each piece into about. I think I cut each piece into 4 or 5 pieces, just depending. And I threw the bones away, just because not everybody likes bone.
Okay.
I have no problem with bone, and I would often cook with the bone as well because I think it gives it the best flavor. but some people don't like bone, so you can always just, that's why most people would use breast. So I'm just going to stir this a little bit. I'm just using the back of the spoon instead of...
Why are you doing that?
Because I don't want to get another spoon dirty.
Okay.
Because of laziness.
Thought it's like some special method.
No, I'm just using the back of it so that I don't get it dirty.
Okay.
So, like, this is really interesting, but, like, we're pretty much finished this. It won't take long. The chicken's going to cook really quickly in there. And because we've cooked it in the coconut milk, it's going to be really juicy and, like, just really beautiful, as opposed to cooking on the fry pan separately, which often dries it out, and then putting it in the curry, because once you do that, because it's already cooked through, you don't want it in the curry for long, so it just doesn't develop that juicy flavor where it's like taking in all the coconut milk, and it's also like added its that chicken stock flavor that is absolutely delicious. So someone asked how to make it vegetarian, so I'm just going to give that a bit of a mix. Oh, that rice is almost ready. Actually, can I teach you guys a trick with your rice, okay? So if you ever cook rice and you finish it and it's too hard, don't add another cup of water, or any water actually.
Just chuck it away.
No, get yourself a plastic bag, like just any plastic bag, like your shopping bags from Coles, Woolworths, Tesco, and run it under water and wash it both inside, and then turn it inside out and wash it again. Once you've done that, then shake all the excess water out and actually put the bag on top of the rice and put the lid on it. What will happen is the droplets of water in there will fall into the rice, and then as the steam, oh my goodness, I feel like I'm back in a science class.
Evaporates.
Yeah, as the steam evaporates, it'll create
Maybe.
more droplets of water on the plastic bag because you've got something stopping the steam from evaporating out completely. And then those droplets will fall back into the water. And so it'll use this cycle of evaporation to actually cook the rice. So you don't have to add any more water, so you don't end up with this sludgy rice. You just end up with a really perfectly cooked rice. So that is actually a trick my mother taught me when, like, I used to see my mum do when I was a kid. So that's coming along really nicely. You'll see, because we cut the chicken pieces quite small, that will probably take another 5 to 10 minutes and it will be ready.
That's on high, right?
Yeah, but I'm just going to turn it down a little bit because it is boiling quite hard. So with it, let me just do the rice trick for you guys. Give me 1 second.
Sure it's not a secret family
No, it's
thing?
not.
It's not a secret anymore.
So I might actually use one of these freezer bags. So just use whatever plastic bag you have. So take a bag like this, or your...
Not a used one though, right now.
This is a brand new one. And wash the bag, and then take the bag and turn it inside out. So if you've ever grown up in an African household, or I think West Africans do this a lot, wash it. You want a bigger bag than this. I'm just using this tiny little bag because that's what I've got. And then with the wet plastic bag, put that on top of your rice. I'm going to use 2 because that plastic bag is way too small. So wash one side, turn the bag inside out, wash the other. You want to do that so that obviously it doesn't melt and stick to your food. But that,
What's that gonna do?
it's going to cook the rice without having to add any more water.
Okay.
If your rice is still too hard by the time you finish it, because every time you add water, you're eventually going to end up with a slushy mess. So this will cook your rice without having to add any more water except what is on the plastic bags. So that's cooking really well. And I reckon this is actually going to be ready in about 5 minutes. So everyone likes their Thai green curry differently. Some people like to boil out a lot of the water, which is what I like to do. I like it to be a bit thicker. And some people like it at this stage. So you can do whatever you want, whatever works best for your family. But I love it when it's a little bit thicker and not so much of a, not so runny and watery like it is at the moment. So just to make it thicker, you just obviously just keep it on the stove and let it keep boiling and let it keep evaporating until a lot of the water is gone. So that's how I'm going to cook it today. I can already feel that it's starting to get a bit thicker. It's not as runny as it was, which when you start off with, it's just the consistency of the coconut milk.
So in here we've got coconut milk, chicken thighs, and
Onions
yep.
and Thai green curry paste.
Okay.
Yeah? So easy. So easy. You basically finish that. You're just letting it cook for a bit longer to get rid of some of the wateriness.
This has been
in
cooking
it.
since we started, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So for about 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
This
That's
is for
crazy.
2 people.
Well, it's generous
And
for
we're
2
cooking
people.
some plastic bags in it.
We're cooking some rice, but to make sure that the rice cooks well and it's not too hard, we just added the plastic bag on top of it just to...
You got ginger in there as well.
We've got ginger in there just to make it fragrant. You can pick that out at the end. I don't mind the ginger just staying in there, but that rice is ready. It's perfect.
And this, as it is right now, it's not like hot. It's not spicy hot. You're gonna add that
It's
up.
not spicy at all. That Thai green curry paste is quite mild. I'm using the back of the wooden spoon, not because it's any special technique, but simply because I don't want to wash more than 1 spoon. So just rinse that under the tap and then use the other side for my curry. So easy. So I'm going to turn the rice off because that is ready and I don't want it to overcook. I'm going to keep that on it, the lid on it, so that it can, it stays warm. And then I'm gonna start adding the veggies. So all these veggies, you can add whatever veggies you want. I specifically add veggies just for color, because they're not exactly, this isn't exactly my favorite one, but I've got some beans. So with your veggies, just cook them strategically. Your beans take the longest to cook, so throw them in while the curry is boiling, because you want that to take its time and cook. You still want a little bit of a crunch, but that's the first veg I would put in there. And also depends on how you cut your veggies. So my carrots are cut really, really thin, so they won't take long at all. But if you cut them in chunks, they will take a little bit longer. The corn is frozen corn, so that won't take long at all, and it's already defrosted.
So frozen is alright.
Frozen's fine. And what's this one called again?
That's called cucumber, I think.
No. What is it?
I know, you tell me.
The zucchini.
Zucchini or courgette, depending on where you are.
Okay, well the zucchini is
Le courgette.
is almost ready.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't take long to cook a zucchini. So
Right.
so just
Yeah,
start.
because zucchini is Australia and America, but
Oh, okay.
UK is
Courgette.
Or help me out, maybe I'm wrong.
Or maybe it's the other way around. Okay, I've always called it zucchini, so I'm guessing that's Australian.
Yeah.
So your beans are in there. They're gonna cook in probably about 3 to 5 minutes, depending on whether you want them really soft or with a little bit of bite to them.
Okay.
And then the next thing I would add is none of them. I'm gonna add them all last.
At the end?
Yeah.
Alright. So
So
this has
we're-
been cooking from the start.
Yeah, so that's been cooking for about 20 minutes now. Burns, I thought it was a cucumber too, and I cut them up yesterday. No, it is, the reason it's that color is because it froze in my fridge. Anyone who's watched any of our things knows that my fridge keeps freezing things. So it froze and then defrosted, and so it's just a little bit funny, but it's still perfectly good to eat. So I've got some parsley here. I much prefer coriander, but I couldn't find it. I've got some chili, it's not too hot, and I've got some limes, and that's just to garnish it all at the end. So it's
Lime's hard to get right now, eh?
Is it?
I don't know, we live in the same house. I went to buy the other day and we couldn't get any.
Oh, well, I don't think it is, but maybe it is. Sorry.
COVID times.
Okay, so limes are hard to get. So if you can't get a lime, don't worry about it. You don't need it, but it's just nice to have, and it adds some color to the meal, of course. Okay, so I think I'm gonna add my carrots next because they'll take the next longest to cook.
So it's just like 1 cup.
It's just 1 carrot, one whole carrot. So we've added the carrots, and I like adding particular veggies because I like the color it brings to the meal, which is silly because it should also be the nutritional value it brings, but I like the color that it brings to the meal. Next, I'm going to add my, what did we say this was?
Courgette, zucchini.
Courgette or zucchini. So
Cucumber. Frozen cucumber.
it's not frozen cucumber, Israel. It's not cucumber, guys. Do not add cucumber to your Thai green curry. You can add whatever veggies you want. I actually saw Jamie Oliver make it, and he added a mix of wild mushrooms. So that's also an option. And then lastly, I'll add my corn. And
This
again,
is frozen corn, right?
just frozen corn that I've defrosted. But you could use canned corn as well. I don't think it really matters. And look how good that looks. Like packed full of nutritious content. And it just looks nice having all that colour there. Izzy's having issues with our Spotify account apparently. So that's pretty much ready. Yeah? By now the chicken should have cooked. So you can try a little bit just to see how much salt
it's
it
like
needs.
20 minutes, right?
Yeah.
On high.
Yep. So, oh, that is so good. But it definitely needs salt. But you add salt to your liking. I really like salt, so just add 2 generous pinches.
You haven't put any chili in yet, have you?
Haven't put any chili in yet, but you can put chili in. Put as much or as little chili as you like. If you're Helen Day, you'll probably put 4 or 5. Everyone else will probably just do half a chili. I'm just going to add some chili flakes because why not? And I'm going to give that a stir. You can't tell me you can't cook fresh when it's this quick. And if you want to prep it all so that you don't have to, you just want to cook it quickly when you get home from work, just do what I did, which was prep everything and put them in containers. Really, you could throw all the veggies in one container, prep it all, throw it all in containers, and then that's all ready to go for when you get home, and then you can make dinner in 20 minutes. All right, so
on like a scale of like 1 to 5, like how hot is this gonna be?
On a scale of 1 to 5,
wise, yeah.
Probably like a 1.
Okay.
It's not hot at all. There's no heat in the paste. It's only going to be as hot as you make it.
Okay.
So I'm going to plate up now. I'm going to start with the rice, obviously.
Chili is life.
Chili is life.
And then Claire wants to talk about the pinch bowl. Did you make it yourself?
Oh yes, I made this at a not yet perfect workshop. Yes, that's a little plug for you, Lucy. You're welcome.
NY Perfect. NY Perfect.
At NY Perfect. So, I'm just waiting for Izzy to move so I can dish up. So, for dishing up, simple, bit of rice. The ginger's actually gone really soft. I actually think it's fine to eat it like that. I mean, people
So you're not going to take it out?
No, I'm not going to take it out. People eat ginger all the time, don't they? Like you eat it with sushi, so there's no need to take it out if you don't mind it. I love ginger.
So how much rice did we cook?
We only cooked 1 cup, which should be enough for 3 adults, I reckon. So I'm just going to move you over here. Perfect.
So this has been cooking about 25 minutes.
Yep.
On
a medium heat, but I've actually turned it off and I'm just letting the heat that's already on it cook it for the rest of the way. All right, and then to serve, really, really easy. You know how to do this. Get your rice. I'm actually just going to squash that down so that it has somewhere.
Well, technique.
No, just so that it's got somewhere to rest. Oh. So there's your curry. Get all those veg, all that colour. Yeah? And then obviously some of the sauce as well. Just depends how saucy you like it, really. Doesn't it, babe?
I'm not saying anything.
I don't know why I said that.
I'm just holding the camera.
So,
Saucy.
obviously clean up your plate because
Okay, so it's Thai green curry, right?
it's Thai green curry using a curry paste. So we made this in about, what, 20 minutes? So there's your curry. Then you add a little bit of green to add some freshness to it. I'm using parsley because that's what I could find at the shops, but I would recommend coriander. A little bit of chili as well. This is just fresh chili. Again, if you don't want chili, don't use chili. And then a lime to finish it off.
Thai green curry.
Thai green, should I put the lime there? Yeah.
Why not?
Thai green curry.
It's Thursday.
So, there you go, guys. That is quick and easy Thai green curry using the best Thai green curry paste. And I said it before, so I'm just gonna say it one more time for people who didn't get it. You don't want to use the glass bottles that have like a liquidy curry. Liquidy curry. You want to use the paste. That is the best. It has everything in it, so you don't need to add any garlic or ginger or anything like that. Just use that. And then this is your final product. All right.
Nice.
Thank you guys so much for joining me. It has been a delight, and I will see you maybe on Saturday when I'm gonna make Belgian waffles.
Okay, but where's all the other recipes?
All the other recipes are on @Cooking with the Hobsons, and I'll put a link there as well. All right, guys. See you later. Happy Easter.